This is a beautiful Miss Hagan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful night, man. We're ready to dance. We're celebrating. We're getting fresh water to Africa, to Liberia, to Nigeria. It's an exciting night.
Tell me, why was this event important?
This event is so important to me. I'm so happy to be a part of this process. My father was from Liberia. My oldest sister, half my sisters were born in Liberia. Some of us born here in the States, but we don't leave Liberia behind. We have to have fresh water. We have to do our part. And so I'm just doing my part.
It's necessary because we have a global water crisis that's not going anywhere if we don't step up and do something about it. And even though Face Africa is a tiny organization, we're still, very confident about the fact that we can contribute to actually solving this issue that affects almost 650 million people worldwide.
Originally from Ethiopia, and I know firsthand, the issue with shortage of water, clean water and sanitation. I mean, I've experienced it. I've lived in Ethiopia until about 18, and I've seen firsthand what it's like not to have water for a week. Water used to be rationed, so it's a very important cause to me. That's why I'm part of the Source Committee member.
Well, I get invited to a lot of things, a lot of subjects of African cultural projects that push the movement forward. But specifically tonight, the committee members that are involved are good friends of mine. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it last year, but I just believe in the concept of tackling the subject of water and the importance of water in any society. So it's just, I kind of pop out when I believe in something. And I just think it's honest, and it's really about setting a goal to move just the African diaspora and where Africa is going forward. Water again is a huge issue, and when I heard the numbers and kind of informed myself a little more, I understood why my role and what I could bring to it is important.
Everything, right? I mean, when we talk about health, when we talk about even access to food, when we talk about just the very basic foundations of life, it's access to clean water. And I just think it's particularly like when it comes to Africa, particularly Liberia, if we want countries to develop, as we've seen even here in the United States, right, with Flint, that clean water is a universal basic need, and too many of us, too many Black people, African people are still being denied that basic right due to either where they live or due to, perhaps government corruption, whatever it is. So I think it's incredibly important that, we show up and we recognize just how we can help, how we can make a difference.
I think a lot of times we can get caught up in the Instagram world or in fashion and beauty and not come back to humanity and certain inalienable rights, the rights to clean water, the rights to, take care of our fellow human being and our fellow man. And so this gala just kind of brings it back home to what's really most important in life. And I think anything that sheds light on an issue such as clean water or clean water in Africa is amazing, and I'm happy to lend my support.
It feels really, really good because, the thing that I've noticed is everyone here is really, really passionate about the cause. They're not just coming together to look nice and party. They're coming together for that, but they're also coming together to really, really help this cause. And so I'm so honored to join. So.
I bid the greetings from Nigeria. I say Ekale for the Yorubas. Ibokwenu, Sanu Desua. I say Karibu for those from Kenya. I greet my people, as they say in Liberia, and Akwaba for the Ghanaians. But Nigeria still has the best jollof.
I feel like it's interesting. It keeps the conversation going. It's buzz. But just like our president said, I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody. Say Baba, say Baba.
This year, you guys are announcing that shifting to Nigeria.
Yes.
your hometown. So tell me about that.
You know, Nigeria will never carry last, you know. So this year, actually, we had our first kind of like, it was like a soft gala. It was at the Wheat Baker. It was last month. And, you know, Nigeria is a place where I think the charitable giving culture is not as commonplace. And I think that with Face Africa, looking at what she's done here for Liberia and judging by all the Nigerians that support the organization here in the diaspora, it was just a natural progression to go to Nigeria. And even when you look at the statistics for, you know, sanitation needs in Nigeria, they're actually mind-blowing. Right? In Lagos alone, where there are about 21 million people, 15 million don't have access to sanitation and to pipes and things of that nature. So that's 70% of the population. And then, you know, you've got another 60 million people that don't have access to clean drinking water in Lagos. And like, whenever you're in Lagos, you know, you can see when you're in Nigeria, plastic bags and water bottles all over the place. It's just, the sanitation is just, it doesn't work. There is no sanitation, which leads to disease, which leads to, you know, clogging of sewage that create floods and breed mosquitoes. And I mean, the domino effect of not having good sanitation and access to clean water it's mind-blowing when you think about it. So I'm really happy that Face Africa has decided to focus its resources on Nigeria.
Reading on the different statistics, because I know that this is the 8th annual, so I know that now they're expanding into Nigeria. And one thing I did not know about Nigeria is that every 21 seconds, a child under the age of 5 dies from bad water. So honestly, that was when my face lit up and said, I have to come out and have to support. I have to blast this organization that is helping to change that, because Nigeria is my country. You know, whether I was born there or not, I have it in my blood. You can never change that. You know what I mean? You know, people say, oh, you're Americanized, you know what I mean, Yankee, whatever. Nigeria is in my blood, and I will continue to support the progress of Nigeria. So that's what really made me come out.
It speaks to the work that we do. And the organization is not just about me as the founder, but the many, many people that are involved, not just here, but also in Liberia, on the ground, in the field, making sure that these projects are being delivered, that they're sustainable, and that they continue to impact people in a meaningful way.
Music just was like the only place I would be, like the studio was the only place I'll be and not think about money. So it was like my escape, like my solace, my place of solace, and you know, and that's how I started. And basically everything around me inspires me. Like today, something here might inspire me for a record, and it just vibes for me, man.
In the world, you all live here in the diaspora, building another man's dream, building another man's country, another man's community. But when the chips are down, where will you go to? If the man who says he will build a wall tomorrow faces Africa, where are you all going to go to? Ask yourself that question. A few weeks ago, I hosted an ex-Nigerian governor in my home with a few friends, and he said to me he was in Harvard for 4 months doing a course on global economy. And on the second to the last day of the end of the course, he asked the lecturer, sir, you haven't spoken about Africa in 3 months, 3 weeks. The man said, I'll tell you tomorrow. The next day, the man told him to come and walk with him. And as they got out and were walking, he said to him, I can't talk about African economy in this class because Africa has no economy to talk about. He said to him, a country that is unstable, a continent that produces nothing, a continent with no stability, we cannot plan with that continent. My friends, if that doesn't anger you, that angers me, bows down my spirit, that attacks my essence, that attacks the core of everything that I stand for. Look at us. Brilliant, beautiful, smart, first-class graduates. You have degrees that people who own this country would never smell. Yes. But we're here